Hello, dear students and partners. Welcome to the first session of our Germany Leading the Future webinar series, where we'll explore everything you need to know about Germany as a study and work destination and help you take your next step into your decision of becoming an international student in Germany. We really appreciate your presence here, whether you're watching it live or in the future, and we do hope you enjoy it and find it useful. Today, we'll be giving you a few good reasons to select Germany as your next destination. Stay with us if you're ready and if you're unsure too. My name is Bruno Soares. I'm a manager of community engagement here at Global University Systems, and I'll be the host for today. With me, I have a set of incredible panelists. First, I would like to welcome Alina Gog, who is the Chief Operating Officer at GUS Germany.
Hi, Bruno, and hi, everybody. Thank you very much for inviting me today to take part in this webinar. I'm very happy to talk to our partners and to our prospective students.
It is our pleasure to have you here, Alina. Second, I would like to welcome Professor Dr. Kyriakos Kouveliotis, who is the Chief Academic Officer at GUS Germany and Provost and Chief Academic Officer at the SBI. Hello, Dr. Kouveliotis. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Bruno. It is a pleasure participating and communicating with our audience, and I will try to transfer some of my great experiences in Germany.
Thank you. We also have with us today Aviad Tenhauser, who is the head of Career Development Center at the University of Europe for Applied Sciences. Hello, Aviad. Welcome.
Hi, Bruno. Thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Aviad. We also have with us today Rupsi Chawla, who is the Career and Employment Advisor at GISMA University of Applied Sciences. Hello, Rupsi. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Bruno, for inviting me with such a important discussion.
It's a pleasure to have you here, Rupsi. And we also have two alumni today. I want to introduce them to you as well. The first one is Tylan F. Tosh, who is an alumnus at BSBI. Hello, Tylan.
Hi, Bruno. Thank you for inviting me. I'm happy to be here today to share my experience with you.
Thank you. And last but not least, we have Sukanya Sanyal, who is an alumna at the University of Europe for Applied Sciences. Hello, Sukanya. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Bruno, for this opportunity, and it is absolutely pleasure to be here speaking to you today, and also speaking to the possibly future students of UE. And yeah, I look forward to our conversation.
Thank you. I just want to remind everyone today that this session is being recorded and that will be shared with you afterwards. Also, I want to let you know that if you have any questions at all, please leave them in the Q&A box down below, and our team will make sure to reach out to you and answer your questions. These that you see on your screen are the logos for our four GUS Germany schools: the Berlin School of Business and Innovation, the GISMA University of Applied Sciences, the University of Europe for Applied Sciences, and Arden University. And to start our session, I would like to invite Alina Gog, who is here representing our GUS Germany schools. Alina, once again, thank you so much for being here. We all know here that Germany is such a popular study and working destination. Workers and students from all over the globe, they look forward to going to Germany to get their degrees, their high quality degrees, and to get a position in the Germany job market. So why is that? What are the reasons that make Germany such a popular study destination?
Hi, Bruno. Hi, everybody. It's a real pleasure to be with you today, and thanks for inviting me. I'm always happy to talk about Germany. I live in Germany for quite a number of years, and some of the reasons why our international students find Germany as an excellent place to come to study is not a single reason, but a number of reasons. And some of these are, first of all, the very high standards of education that exist in Germany. Education is, Germany is well known as an education hub, and the quality of education is one of these reasons to start with. Germany also has an excellent job market opportunity for all international people as well as European that want to come and study and work in Germany. As a student, you get working rights, 20 hours during term time, full-time working during holiday period, up to 240 half days a year. After finishing your studies, you have post-study work search opportunities. So it's a work search particular residency that Germany does, which is excellent. It's 18 months, and you can renew this. This allows you as a fresh graduate of any of our institutions to look for work and reside in Germany in the meantime perfectly legally, and gives you quite a significant amount of time, right? 18 months is not a short period. It also, during this time, if you have found work, or even during your studies, if you have found work and you wish to begin as a full-time worker immediately after you finish, you can also apply for a work permit that will be granted depending on your length of the contract. Germany also gives you access to Schengen countries, so you can travel freely in Europe, either for pleasure or sometimes even thinking to potentially relocate in other countries of Europe. So this is also a great advantage. One of the other things is that Germany has a world-class social security and healthcare system. It's really one of the best. And I know it from personal experience with my family living here and my children, is really one of the best systems that I've seen around. So these are some of the reasons why Germany tends to be a great place to start your education, or to start your higher education, as well as settle in Germany once you have finished. Germany is also an excellent enterprise hub, one that has at least 450 small and medium-sized businesses as global leaders in their industries, which is quite significant. Everybody knows the brand made in Germany, and this is something that the Germans are very proud of, and it also stands for very, very good reasons. Many of the German industries are well known across the globe. The German society has also given birth to incredible minds. Germany has 150 Nobel Prize winners. It also has invented things like the aspirin, the X-ray, the television, the MP3s, the automobile, of course, one of the biggest industries in Germany, the airbag, and more recently, the COVID-19 vaccine, right? So these are some of the fantastic things that Germany is known about. Apart from this, Germany has seen a very significant increase in the international student numbers, with 469,000 students recorded, international students recorded in Germany in 23-24, and this year there are over 500,000 already. Germany also has, as is quite known generally, shortage of labor, which is why also Germany has very advantageous conditions for international students to come to Germany and to settle here once they have completed successfully their studies. Currently, there are 694,000 vacancies recorded, but this is estimated to go in the region of millions by 2030, right? So that's an acute problem of Germany, and this is why welcoming skilled workers from abroad is one of their top priority at the moment. In terms of employability as well, this is exactly why, right, with this type of shortages and needs for more labor, employability rate is generally over 90%, which is quite extraordinary in Germany, which is higher and significantly higher than even the European Union employability rate, right? So in Germany, overall, you are expecting 91.5% of students were employed after graduating in 2023. which is again an extremely high number, and students that are coming to Germany are expected to find a job pretty quickly. In other areas, salaries are also extremely high in terms of the graduating salary, right? So the students that finish at any of our institutions are expected to go in the labor market and start earning somewhere between the brackets that you can see on the screen at the moment, which could be anything between 36 to 55 for a salesperson. Finance, of course, if you're specialized in finance, and especially if you have also done perhaps an internship or other such, or maybe even have some experience from back home. Very many students of ours come with a level of experience from their home countries, then they study, they upskill themselves, they study and equivalent their studies here locally, and then they enter the job market with already some experience. And this is absolutely fantastic because it gives them already an access to a higher salary. In finance, you can earn anything between 50,000 to 60,000 a year after you graduate, of course, depending on how your results have been during your studies, as well as whether you have any prior experience. HR, as a HR manager, you can earn, this is a very basic entry level, right, 45,000 euros a year gross, but in reality, they will also go higher depending on your experience, your motivation, and what benefit you bring to the organization. We ourselves in our institutions really pride ourselves for employing a high number of our full-time staff after graduating in our institutions become full-time staff of ours. We find this absolutely beneficial to us because these students already know us, they are already students with us for a number of years. Then they work either during their studies, and most of the times if they have started working with our institutions during their studies, they remain and continue as full-time workers. We find this access, first-hand access to the best students, absolutely extraordinary, and we pride ourselves very much, and we make a lot of use of it. We hire a lot of students every semester. Other things to know about Germany, I mentioned already the international student growth. You can see here a graph that shows you where the numbers have been in 2018. You can definitely see an increase. In the pandemic, there has been a slight slow down, but it then recovered, and the numbers have been going up ever since, and they are expected to maintain this trajectory for the coming years. And as mentioned, Germany's policies in general have been to encourage this, because skilled workers coming, or skilled people generally, and further studying further education is something that Germany needs quite desperately, and of course this attracts quite a lot of people all over the world. Students can bring their families to Germany while they study, which is one thing that not so many people know, and I'm very happy actually to mention this. We also have an exceptional service where we have an immigration firm applying for the residency permit of students after they arrive in Germany. This is a service that we've been delivering now extremely successfully for a number of years. But very recently this year, we added a support for their families. So if you are a student that brings their spouse or their children, or both, when they come to study in Germany, our immigration firm that we are partnering with is also applying not just for the residency permit for our student, but also for the residency permit of their spouse and children. The residence permit application for our students that study with all of our institutions is free of charge, completely free of charge for our students, which is really an extraordinary support to help our students settle in Germany once they arrive. Then, of course, at the beginning, a period of time when everybody requires to find an accommodation, to settle, basically, to understand how the public transport works, where the shops are, etc., etc. And having this headache taken off their minds in having a professional firm applying for the residence permit in Germany, especially at the beginning when the language skills may or may not be there, is extremely, extremely useful. We've had over the years absolutely extraordinary feedback from our students for this particular service. And as I mentioned, one important aspect to remember is that students can bring their spouses. And this is something that is not found in many countries around the world, right? But this is another way in which Germany supports skilled people coming to Germany to work, to study, and to live here and to contribute to the society. Another interesting fact is the fact that the spouse is permitted to work full time. So 40 hours a week, while the students are permitted to work, as I mentioned earlier, 20 hours during term time and 40 hours during holiday period. So do look out for this opportunity in your country, and maybe depending on the country, depending on where you come from, it may be easier or not to apply, but the possibility is there and the law permits it. And I warmly encourage you to research this locally if you have a family and you wish to bring them over with you. Other facts about residency opportunities for our listeners. Post-study work opportunity, I mentioned earlier, students can apply after graduating for an 18 months post-study or job search residency, and that's particularly what is called a job search residency. As I mentioned, this is an 18-month period that is allowed, and you can extend it if you're failing to find a job, a permanent job, or not necessarily permanent, but a longer-term job within the 18 months. Most students, as I said, right, and as you could see earlier in the other slide, over 91% of students find a job. So this is most of the times students will make use of this job search opportunity for a shorter period of time, and then they would apply for a work permit as soon as they have an offer from a local company. Permanent residency is available to students, and it has become easier over the years to settle in Germany permanently. So you must have lived in Germany for at least 5 years, or 3 years if you're married to a German citizen, in order to apply, to be eligible to apply for this. You also have to make proof, like for all types of residency, including student and others. You need to be able to make proof of your financial resources. And if you are applying for a permanent residence permit, you also need to have German language skills. But if you do obtain this, then you're allowed to remain in Germany indefinitely, and of course, access to the entire European Union as well as other areas. The European Blue Card is also a residence permit valid for up to 4 years. A blue card is particularly given in certain areas that Germany really needs workers. For example, in IT, IT will job-related, IT field-related will give you access to this blue card if you are obtaining a minimum threshold salary. And this can give you access to residence for up to 4 years, as I mentioned, and post this, you can move into the permanent residency permit, as mentioned just a few minutes ago. More, of course, you will be able to find out if you're a student of ours in Germany as soon as you arrive, and our international affairs offices are more than happy to explain our students and our international students all of these options. We have, as I mentioned, the immigration firm that applies for residency permits for students once you arrive here, but they also have regular webinars, again, only exclusively for our students, that will give you all of this information. So if you want to find out anything particular, specific about your own situation, about your family, about your spouse, about your children, you can ask our lawyer that works with you. And this is, again, a very unique service that you will not find elsewhere, given by our immigration firm partner. And it's quite interesting because, again, you can ask individual questions. It's like having a consultation with an immigration lawyer. You can do that in the various webinars that we have arranged during the year. About the skilled labor shortages in Germany, I've already mentioned a few times, and the number of vacancies that currently exist on the market. And this is a pretty severe problem at the moment in Germany, which is why it's not foreseen this to improve necessarily over the coming years. On the contrary, as I mentioned earlier, it's foreseen that the job shortage will further increase, putting more and more pressure on the economy. And this is why Germany generally encourages the skilled workers migration, as well as, of course, studies is one key element. Students are a key element in the plan of Germany, because the students come with higher skills already, with the studies, and many of them would work in relevant fields. And these are the people that Germany wants to see here. And this is what we're facilitating, and we're happy to have and to prepare our students for the labor market in Germany.
Thank you so much, Alina. Well, it looks like Germany is a great choice for international students, especially with all the support and partnerships that our GUS institutions guarantee to make the lives of our students easier. So thank you so much for this introduction to Germany as a study destination. And with us today to build on this discussion as well, and to bring an academic perspective as well to this discussion, we have with us, of course, Professor Dr. Kyriakos Kouveliotis. Hello, Dr. Kouveliotis. It's a pleasure to have you here. Dr. Kouveliotis, I wanted to ask you, well, based on your experience with BSBI, GUS Germany in general, and also as an academic in Germany in general, how do you see that higher education institutions in Germany prepare students for the job market, for a successful career from the academic perspective, and also from the institutional perspective as well, within the schools and the universities? Thank you again for being here.
Many thanks for participating and your questions. As an academic, but also as a person that lived most of my life in European countries, I'm thrilled to mention that I live in Germany for the last 6 years. And currently, this country presents for us academics at the professional level, but also for students, great opportunities not only to studies, but to integrate themselves into what we call the European business environment and start exploiting in a very positive way all the benefits that a very strong economically European country has to offer. Just to give you some basic statistics of Germany, because for our audience, I think it's very important to note. Probably, as you all know, Germany is one of the largest economies in the world, the biggest in the European Union. I think it's fourth in the world right now. It's a big country of around 85 million people, a strong GDP per capita of around 44,000 euros, and a high urbanization rate of around 78%. It has one of the lowest percentages in unemployment in Europe, and this is one of the reasons why it is so attractive for students, young population, but also for professional. I think currently is around 6%, which is a very low rate. Inflation rate is around 2%, which is also very low, which makes life very affordable. Germany is also one of the countries that presents many opportunities in professions like in IT, computer science, engineering, health services, and all these professions that currently are flourishing in Europe. So it's very, very popular, not only among young population, but also for professionals that they want to move their career forward. The major industries that we observe in Germany is, of course, automotive, that everybody knows, mechanical engineering, chemical and electrical appliances and factories. In other words, it has a very strong industrial background. Now, for a young person, a young student, but also for a young professional, it is also considered an international country. That means Berlin in particular, that we are here, is experiencing a multinational and multi-ethnic environment. In international school and institutions like BSBI, we are lucky to say that we have students from more than 100 different countries. This, by definition, is wonderful as an academic to work in such an environment. nearly every day we have something unique to celebrate. And that gives you an advantage that is something that, as a father, I also want to transfer to my son. You can become, as a young person, an international citizen. So you don't need to be like some of us above 40 to have international experiences. You can experience all this when you're just 18. And to become a citizen in the world and having all these differentiations and all these, let's say, multi-ethnic experiences, and at the same time a very high quality of education and being young, is what I call a passport that never expires. This is very, very fruitful for a student, and this is something that adds much value to studies, but also the experiences and the attitudes for you as a person. Germany has a very affordable cost of living, considering the fact that it's a powerful country, it's in the center of Europe, very well connected Europe-wise, but also worldwide with all means. It has some of the most outstanding institutions academic-wise in Europe. As I mentioned, high employability. This is great. Students are using what we call the post-study work visa or the job-seeking visa for 18 months after they complete their studies. Most of them, they are already employed part-time during their studies in Germany. There are many degree courses from many institutions in the country. They can also learn German. Here at BSBI, we offer the students to attend free German lessons from the day one when they register in the courses. So imagine a young person, 18-year-old, when he or she is 21 and graduate with a bachelor course, he or she can speak German at B2 for free. This is great. It's another great opportunity. I wish to have this opportunity when I was a young student as well. Then there is also the strong cultural and historical heritage of Germany. Tuition fees and cost of living and mention are extremely low in comparison with some other European countries. Because of the lack of unemployment, there are many career opportunities. The range of programs in institutions, not only for us in GAS, but also in other institutions, is amazing. It is a very wide range of programs. Some of them are very, very, very much innovative. Because of the proximity to Western and Eastern Europe, a young person can explore Europe. So there are even direct trains now from Berlin to Paris. Amsterdam is very close. Brussels is very close. Even London is very close via Paris. Berlin has an amazing new airport. And some of Germany's airports, like in Munich and in Frankfurt, there are some of the biggest airport hubs in Europe right now. Talking about opportunities, because of the diversity and the strong industrial background, the opportunities are great. There are lots of internships as well. All programs that they run in German institutions, of course, are globally recognized. Lately, the last, let's say 10, but mostly the last 5 years, there are a lot of English taught programs. You don't necessarily need to speak German to have a successful career in Germany, or let's say to survive academically. Personally, I don't speak German. Still, I can communicate, I can have a very successful life, I can enjoy all these experiences, and I can also work. Diversity and multiculturalism is also extremely important. I can say now, excluding London, that probably Berlin is the, let's say, cultural capital of Europe. The diversity is huge. Many events, many experience that somebody can attend. It's also, Germany generally is also a friendly country to work while you are studying, so that you can support your studies. You can also, apart from German, learn other languages. Berlin, but also Germany as a country, is also like the hub for entrepreneurship and startups. Berlin is considered the capital of entrepreneurship and startups, to be precise. The same way as Germany is famous for the quality in appliances in the industrial sector, that applies also for education. It is also a very safe country, extremely safe. And it's not only that it is safe, it's the feeling of safety that you experience when you walk around the street. You feel extremely safe. And this is very important for young students and also for family. And finally, the sense of belonging to an international diverse community that it's, let's say, based on tolerance and respect of human rights, and also to give you all these amazing opportunities to commute and communicate with different sectors. This is an ideal environment for a young person. And personally, because I did it myself, I recommend Germany. Not so much as a permanent location to live the rest of your life, but as an experience for some years, and to build a solid base and decide what you are going to do. You can stay, you can go back to your country, or you can immigrate to any other country. But so far, I think borders are not as important as they used to be. Maybe it's the next stage of globalization, but we should consider establishing a career in Germany or in France or in Spain. That is something that belongs to us, that is something that we need to experience. And this is not only a challenge, it can be a destination. It is part of what I told you before, to become an international citizen, a citizen of the world. And this is very, very important. And we are lucky in GAS that we also experience this ourselves.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Kyriakos. That was such an interesting perspective that you shared. Very, very broad perspective on how Germany helps students conquer their careers. It was really, really insightful to hear. Thank you so much. So now, to contribute to this debate that we are having today here, I wanted to invite as well Aviad Tenhauser. Hi, Aviad. Thank you so much for being here with us today. I wanted to make you a question, Aviad, in this sense, because, based on your experience working at the University of Europe for Applied Sciences and in the Germany education system in general, how do you see Germany institutions, higher education institutions, helping students to get connected to top employers in the industry, please?
Hi, Bruno. Thank you so much for this lovely introduction. So first of all, Germany in general welcome foreigners from other countries to work here and join the job market here in Germany. As I guess everyone knows that Germany has a lack of professionals in different industries. Now, the way we support the students, and it's actually unique because what we do here, we provide services, career services for students, and we support them all the way from the very beginning of their studies to the phase where they're about to graduate, on the way to the professional world, to the job market. Now, we make the bridge between education and industry. And how we do it is simply we offer career consultations, appointments, we offer employability workshops, career events, and many more opportunities for students. Now, we have our own career platform where employers get to have a recruiter account, they post jobs, and we also connect with them for different events. I think the biggest benefit here is that the employers, companies, they want this exposure. obviously for employer branding and other marketing purposes, but they also look for during the studies, basically for working student positions. That's something that in Germany, it's a term for part-time positions for students where they can work up to 20 hours a week. Now, and it's win-win for everyone. Win for the students because they get to gain some meaningful working experience while studying or internship, it depends. And also win for the employers because they have to pay less taxes on the employee, and they also need this working force in the team. Now, what we do, we actually have a system where it's called Job Teaser. It's a platform, career platform, where students can book appointments with us. What the uniqueness in our university that student don't need to wait for so long until they meet a career advisor. So basically maximum 1 week they will wait until they will see a career advisor. And I know most of you know that to get a career consultation outside, it's around, it depends, like it could be also 150 euros for an hour, and we offer it for free as part of the studies tuition fees. Now, students can talk with us about anything. Could be how to search for jobs in Germany, what are the options, career orientation. Look, I'm not sure. I'm studying business and management. It's pretty, broad. And we help them to identify their unique skills to help them a little bit fine-tuning their application. We help with CV and cover letter, preparation for job interviews, and many more. Basically, we are kind of like in a way providing also support mentally, and also obviously supporting them physically to apply. Now, applying for jobs, it's very everyone knows it. It's like very stressful. It could be stressful situation where you look for a job and you need to have a job now. And we help also in that aspect. And we do everything we can to help those students to starting their career here. And we push them also during the studies. Look, you have to find jobs while studying. It's very important, and it will help them later to get full-time positions after graduation. Apart from that, I mentioned briefly the workshops that we offer here. So it's also kind of very unique. I think in every university they offer those workshops, but we offer large amount of workshop every semester. So for example, in the summer semester 25, this one that just began, we offer 6 employability workshops, how to write CV and cover letter, preparation for job interviews, soft skills workshop with external speakers and career coaches. So we have 6 of those, and students are completing at least 3. They also get an employability badge from us that they can also post in LinkedIn, and that helps them also to show their engagement during studies. And obviously, like for recruiters, it's also a good sign to see, okay, this student is very active. A part of studying is also participating in extracurricular activities. Now, we offer also those, as you said, you want to make the bridge between education and industry. So we also invite companies to give company presentations here on campus, or they invite us to a company visit, what we call like a company visit event, where we send students to companies where they can have a feeling of how is it to work in a specific industry. We had, for example, last semester, we had a company visit to Google offices in Hamburg that was absolutely inspiring event because you see the Google officer, which is kind of, it's really, really impressive to see everything. And also we had like a professional talk there in Google, so the student could really have the feeling of how is it to be a Google employee. Now, we do that also with other companies, obviously, and we also invite companies to attend to give speech on campus, and it's very, very successful because the students have like the opportunity to speak with someone from a company, but not only from the large companies like Google or I don't know, Allianz and so on, but we also have like those small companies, startups and so on, where students have great opportunities to really start working there, maybe a working student position, internships. I think in the smaller companies, it's easier for students to start their career rather than those big companies where you have like many, like the recruitment process is a little bit more, it's longer than the others and it's harder to be accepted. So we have those events. We make the bridge between the industry, the education and industry, and we're doing it very successfully. And all you need to do is that the students will be more active with regard to the career, come seek for help, and for sure we see the results, and the results are very good. To sum up, Germany, like the companies in Germany, provide many opportunities, and we help the student to go and get it.
Thank you so much, Aviad, for this very comprehensive explanation of the work that you do, the efforts that you put in helping students find a connection, an industry connection in Germany. I'm sure that students are in great hands. Thank you so much. And with us today, to also add to this discussion, we have with us Rupsi Chawla, who is part of the Gizmo Careers team. Rupsi, thank you so much once again for being here. We really appreciate it, as I said earlier. Rupsi, like we know as we are seeing the other panelists discussing today, we see that Germany is a land of opportunities. We see that Germany is a land where students can go to find opportunities and find career perspectives in the path. But universities, of course, in Germany, they play a good role in contributing to that, right? So how do universities in Germany, from your experience, connect students with the job market and with employees?
Okay, so first of all, this is a great initiative, and today's discussion is incredibly important because, international students studying abroad isn't just about getting a degree. It is about getting the employability, which is the key dream, maybe you can say, for the students to come abroad to fulfill their dreams and everything. And I think Germany is the best place for them because Germany has a lot of, opportunities in every field, you can say. And another point is also that it is very international. Especially in Berlin, if you see, the culture is very international and adaptable, and you can see plenty of, nationalities. So I would say, yeah, this is another best way, best thing to for the students to choose. Yeah. And yeah, speaking about German institutions, so there are like two main categories of German institution. First is universities, and another is universities of applied sciences. And speaking about universities, it is morely focus on theoretical knowledge, and on the other hand, University of Applied Sciences has, modified their curriculums in such a way that student will have the theoretical knowledge as well as the practical experience to gain the skills or, the tools, whatever they need to be job ready, and when they enter the market. So another thing is that the universities that prepare students for their careers is that they provide internships and working student opportunities. And if we compare it with some other, national countries, then this option is not available. So this is another a good opportunity for students to choose Germany. And another thing is that career services, every university has a career center which is dedicated to the students needs, to provide all the basic information, resources, guidance, which will help their students to enter the German job market. So this is another really great initiative for the German institutions. Another would be, the universities usually tie up with, big employers, or you can say big brands, so that their students can easily, get or what do you say, opportunities in the industry. Because now we bridge between, basically it's bridging the gap between the talent and the employer. So by connecting with the employers, we, expose them to the talent we have and invite them to please connect with them, and then build a good future for the organization as well as for the students. And another point is that, again, the internationalization of the German institutions. As I said, it is open for, it is adaptable, it is open in terms of culture, nationality. So every kind of, every kind of student can have a job here, no matter from which in country they are, whatever their culture is. There's no restriction, or there's no barrier in terms of that. Yeah, and also lastly, German institutions also provide, post work opportunities. Like they will hire their students for a particular project, or they will hire them for, for, you say, internship or something like that. They actually they actually motivate their students to work with their own institution as well. They provide a lot of opportunities for their own students. For example, me, I am, I'm from Gizma and working in Gizma. So this shows that uh, institution doesn't only provide the degree, or, it's not just something unrealistic, but they will also give you the opportunity. So this is the thing I like the most about the German institution. Yeah, and in any way they are best, because they not only provide you, the theoretical knowledge, but they will also make you equipped with the better tools, with the better skills, with the hands-on practice on the real world. Yeah, so I think with combination of all of this makes the German institutions the best for students to get ready for the job. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rupsi. We really appreciate your contribution to this discussion. It was
Thank
really
you.
insightful, and we know that the students here, they will take great advantage of what you just said. And one thing that I wanted to say to inspire you is that Rupsi was a student at Gizma herself. And right now she's here. She's part of the career teams. She has a job in Germany, and she's here talking to you about the opportunities that you can find in our Germany institutions, in her case, especially at Gizma. And well, using that as a hook, I wanted to go to the next part of our webinar today, where we are inviting some alumni from our German institutions to speak a little bit about their experiences as students and also now as workers in that country. So the first student that I wanted to invite is Taylan Afatash, who is from Turkey, and he currently lives in Berlin after completing his studies at BSBI. Thailand, thank you so much for being here today. I wanted to make you a question, Thailand. How was it for you to make this decision of going to Germany to study, and how was your experience as a student in Germany?
Thank you, Bruno, for inviting me. So for a little backstory, I came to Germany way before 10 years ago, actually, to learn German. And I did my bachelor also in engineering. And after that, I'm coming from Turkey, and Germany is a popular country for us. And I wanted to spend my future and get a better education. And these reasons all combined that I wanted to study my MBA program. While I was working in Germany, I talk and research with the people, and then I figured out BSBI is a good university for me. It's matching to my criteria, that what I wanted, and that's how I apply. And luckily, I get it.
Perfect, fantastic. And when you decided to study at BSBI and you started your classes, how was your experience as a student?
Actually, it was like a lot of ups and downs because Germany and BSBI it was really helpful and a good experience to me because it's a really dynamic group here and they listen what student wants. Uh, During my studies, when I started in the beginning, I wanted to have some more opportunities with my education, and then I come and talk with the school, and then they helped us a lot. So we get extra courses, we get extra career helps, a lot of things. Like during the studies, I just didn't just study, I also prepare a better CV for myself. And BSBI gave me this opportunity.
Perfect. We are glad to hear that since BSBI is a part of GUS. And how was it for you to transition from student to a worker in Germany? Like, how did you start your job search? Now you work at BSBI, right? So how was it?
Exactly.
How was this bridge built for you? And how was the process to find a job in Germany? And of course, how is it being for you right now to work in Germany? What are the things that stand out to you the most?
Exactly. So it was actually like lots of help from BSBI, I could say. We have an amazing career department, and they helped me with my CV first when I started. And then they also checked my LinkedIn, and then we figured out what is my capabilities and what I need to achieve, what I need to make it better. That's what they figured that out. After that, I started BSBI as a working student first. I represent student. I was working as a student council president. So I was focusing on the part that it's good for me. And then after I graduated, I started to make the job research. I applied many places. And with the knowledge that I gained from BSBI and all the experience, it was really good for me as a start. Yeah, after that, I also applied BSBI, and luckily I found a position that I like. And I started here in the student service office. So I continue kind of the job I started in a bigger, better way.
Absolutely. And well, in the student services position, I'm sure that you have this daily contact with the students, right? And to do a little
Exactly.
bit what you are doing here right now, which is really like supporting students in making the best decision for their study journey. And it's really, we really appreciate your time here with us. We really appreciate you sharing your story. It was very insightful and really nice to hear. So thank you so much, Thailand. And the second alum that we have today with us is Sukanya Senyal, who is originally from India and currently lives in Potsdam, Germany. Sukanya, really appreciate your presence here. It's always a big pleasure to have our students and former students with us. Sukanya, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your experience coming from India and then moving to Germany. I don't know if you've been somewhere else in between. I just wanted to understand a little bit of your story, of your path to Germany, and how was it to study at the University of Europe for Applied Sciences, and then after that, transition yourself to a professional path? Thanks again for being here, and the stage is yours.
Yeah, Bruno, it was an absolute, it's an absolute pleasure to be talking here today. And my journey, well, it has been quite interesting so far. There has been ups and downs, but as a whole, I can say that I'm really happy at the place that I am right now. And yeah, the journey has been great. So I started off from India. I started my career as a UX UI designer, and later I moved to Germany with a job, but I found UE and the course innovation design like pretty interesting, and it was in line with some of the concepts that I wanted to get for my career, like things like innovation and strategy. So yeah, I found the course very interesting and I went forward with it. I would say after I joined the course, was like my mindset completely broadened up and I could think about so many new things. My professors who taught me, they were really, really amazing. Like we had these constant discussions in classes where we spoke about anything and everything. Like we critique designs all over the world, and the professors were actually working in a lot of companies in Berlin, and yeah. This level of discussion with them and learning through their experience also, I think, created a big difference in the course. Also, I would say the classmates, like the group that we had, it was like challenging at every point. We competed in a lot of course, we had presentations and stuff to do, and it was great working with the team. We sometimes had conflicting ideas. Sometimes we were like, hey, this idea is really great. We should go for it. And in general, I think it completely broadened my way of thinking, and it was awesome. Apart from this, I also enjoyed the fact that there were so many events in the university, and also opportunities to work with the university. I worked for the career team, as I'm sure you're aware. And yeah, through this, I got in touch with so many professionals in the design world. I hosted the mentorship program for the university for design students, where we connected design students to around 28 design students to 28 professionals in the design world. And this experience was absolutely it was so great. It's actually what landed me to my position right now, like to get in touch with all these people, make these connections, and I'm still in touch with them. I'm often meeting them at events around Berlin, and it gives me a lot of freelancing leads, interesting ventures. Really, I'm open to anything and everything exciting right now in my career. And yeah, it really is a step forward in my career, I would say. I'm pretty satisfied, and I would recommend any future students to go for it. Look for your research. What is your career path, and if it's in line with what you want to do for your career, then go for it. The university provides really good options to make it happen. And yeah, it's great.
And thank you so much, Sukanya. That was a really nice experience that you had. And I was just wondering, how was it for you to adapt to Germany when you arrived? What were the challenges and also the good things that you found when you started to live in Germany.
Well, to be honest, learning the language was a little bit challenging, but I got into a Deutsch course very early in the beginning of the course, and I'm right now in B1, B2 level, so that's kind of good to at least make the conversation with German clients. And I think this would be one of the challenges. And on the good part, I guess it's Germany and I was at the Potsdam campus, which is very close to Berlin campus, and Berlin is like the hub of startups in Europe right now. So it's a great location to be at and great events to connect to, and um, also making friends, like the international community through the university. I got in touch with them, and it's like normally difficult to make friends, but it was very easy, the process, because of the such a big international community there. And yeah, but overall, if there is any issue, you can always reach out to a lot of people from the university. My professor Johannes, who is my absolute favorite professor, we were more like friends. We could speak about any issues. Housing challenges were, of course, there, but when you know enough people, you can always you can always ask someone and you can get some help. And that was good.
Yeah, you sure can. Thank you so much, Sukanya, for sharing your experience, for this generous act of being here in front of other students and sharing with them, helping with them. I'm sure that many of them they have the same they are facing the same challenges that you and Thailand you both faced when you started to think about moving to Germany, studying in Germany. So it's really helpful and insightful to them to have people like you here. I really want to thank our panelists for the fantastic session they delivered today. It was really a pleasure to hear all of them, all of our staff, all of our management, all of our former students talking a little bit about their expertise, their experience, and sharing with you, our dear students and partners, all that they have to offer and that can help you take the next step into applying for our GUS Germany schools. So if you attended this session today, you can earn a badge for it. So if you scan the QR code on your screen, you can download the badge for session 1 and have it as a collection, because we're having future sessions as well that will also generate badges, and that you can also, if you attend, you will also be able to collect badges for them as well. So here on your screen, you have the QR code to claim the badge for session 1. So I'll give you some time to claim this badge, and this way you can, well, have some sort of proof that you've been here with us, getting trained on everything Germany as a study destination. And I'm sure that this is going to be a really nice addition to your collection of badges and certificates. Also, I want to remind everyone that this is not the last session of our series. In fact, it is just the first one. And the second one, the upcoming one, is going to be on May 13th at 2 p.m. UK time, and on May 16th at 10 a.m. UK time. You have these 2 time slots. You can pick the one that suits you better, your time zone. And the topic for this second session is going to be Germany's economy and job market. So please scan the QR. If you are here, you're indeed already registered, but do scan the QR code so you can get the registration link and share it with your friends who are also interested in studying in Germany. And who knows, they will be here with us hearing more about our GUS Germany institutions as well. So if you were here today and you are still here with us up to the end, please talk to your educational advisor and start your study journey in Germany now. You just had the opportunity to learn more about Germany and see what are the great opportunities that Germany can bring to your life, to your career, to your academic career as well. So please talk to your educational advisor. We do have agents all across the globe, so we certainly have an agent working with her Germany schools, BSBI, Arden, UE, and Gizma, who is located in your location. So please do talk to your educational advisor and start your journey now. I wanted to thank all of our panelists for being here with us today and sharing their expertise with us. And I also wanted to thank our dear audience who stayed with us here up to the end during this webinar. We really appreciate it. We appreciate it, and we hope to see you in our upcoming session as well. Thank you. Have a great one. Bye-bye. Thank you.